Hello students, welcome to a brand new session of learning. Today we will begin the first chapter, Parts of Speech, which is for students of standard 8th and 9th. But before I begin today's lesson, I would like to give you an overview of what exactly we will be doing during the course of this year. We will learn all the grammar that is required for standard 8th and 9th. Additionally, I will be giving you grammar exercises to memorize and solve, which will be helpful for you to prepare for the International English Olympiad. The International English Olympiad is a yearly exam conducted by the Science Olympiad Foundation in collaboration with the British Council. This competition tests your English language and grammar concepts. It improves your problem solving ability and challenges you to think analytically. It prepares you for future competitive exams by testing your aptitude as well as your knowledge of English. It also provides exposure to you at national as well as international platforms. It instills the quality of hard work in you and pushes you to prepare hard for the exam and improve your result. Now, in today's lesson, you can learn about parts of speech in English. How many parts of speech are there? Can you name them and explain what they do? Understanding parts of speech, nouns, verbs, and adjectives, and so on, can help you to understand English sentence structure and how English grammar works. In this class, you'll also learn the basic information about parts of speech. You'll also see some ways that parts of speech can be a little more complicated than you might expect, and you will have several chances to practice. So students, I come back to my first question. How many parts of speech are there? There are 8 parts of speech or 8 word classes. The first one is noun. A noun is a naming word. Now, it names a person, place, animal, thing, etc. Person, Gita. Place, Delhi. Animal, rhinoceros. Thing, book. Abstract thing, beauty. Feeling, love. Collection of people, a bench of judges.
Start.
The second part of speech is a pronoun. A pronoun is a replacing word. Now here, the word pro means in place of. For example, Tom is intelligent. Now, if I want to say something more about Tom, I do not need to use the word Tom again and again. So instead of that, I will say he. He is hardworking. Then, he is hardworking too. For example, Rani is a girl. Rani is rich. And if I don't want to keep repeating Rani many times, I will say she. She is proud. And other examples of pronouns are I, we, you, he, she, it and they.
Start.
The third part of speech is adjective. An adjective is a describing word. It qualifies a noun or a pronoun. That means it tells us something more about a noun or a pronoun. For example, Tom. Tom is intelligent. Now here the word intelligent talks about Tom. So the word intelligent is an adjective. He is hardworking. Hardworking stands for Tom. Now here this is telling us something more about Tom. But here it is talking about he, a pronoun. And as I said, it describes either noun or a pronoun. So the word hardworking also is an adjective. Then the next example, Rani is rich. Now here the word rich talks about Rani. So here the word rich is talking about a noun and that is an adjective. The word she is proud. Now proud is talking about a pronoun she, that is Rani, and here the word proud is an adjective. So as we can see that adjectives are describing words. They qualify or they describe nouns or pronouns. Then we go to articles. Articles are a, and the. For example, a boy, an apple, the red fort. In reality, a, and the are all adjectives. Then the next subsection is determiners. Determiners are words that limit or refer to nouns. For example, this boy, that school, these people, those animals, all, some, any, each, every, my, your, his, their, etc. All these words are determiners. They also are adjectives, and that is why we do not call them as a separate class, but articles and determiners come under adjectives. So now we go to the fourth part of speech, which is verb. A verb denotes action like run, play, dance. Then being, which is in the present tense is, are, am, and in the past tense was or were. It also denotes possession, which is has, have, and had. These three things are illustrated in the given examples. Ruskin Bond is a famous author. Is a verb which denotes being. He has written many stories for children. Written indicates an action, and he has a house in Missouri. Has indicates possession. The next part of speech is adverb. An adverb describes a verb, adverb, or adjective. In the first example, she sings sweetly. Sings is the verb. Sweetly describes the verb, and that is an adverb. The second example, he is very smart. Now the word smart talks about the person, and that is an adjective. The word very is an adverb, and it talks about an adjective. The third example is the child spoke very politely. The verb is spoke, politely is an adverb, and the word very is another adverb that is talking about an adverb. So every word ending with ly is not an adverb. For example, they are friendly. Now here friendly is talking about some people, and so it is not an adverb, but it is an adjective. The next example, he is miserly. Miserly again is not an adverb, but it is talking about a person, and so it is a description, and it is an adverb. The next part of speech is preposition. It is preposition. Now, prepositions are words that are placed before a noun or a pronoun and connect them to another word in the sentence. Many prepositions tell where something is or when something happens. The first example, the book is on the table. Where is the book? On the table. The second sentence, the cat is under the chair. So where is the cat? Under. So the preposition is under. The man is in front of the gate. Where is the man? In front of. So the preposition is in front of. The next example, the train will leave at midnight. When will the train leave? At. So the preposition is at. The seventh part of speech is conjunction. A conjunction is a joining word. It joins words, groups of words, or sentences. In the first example, I like cake and ice cream. The conjunction and joins two words, cake and ice cream. In the second sentence, I will wait till he comes. Here we can see the word till is a conjunction. It joins two groups of words. In the third sentence, she was sick, therefore she did not go to work. So here the conjunction therefore joins two sentences. Then the next part of speech is, the last one is interjections. An interjection is an exclaiming word. It is spoken suddenly in order to express strong feeling. The interjections are hurrah, ah, gosh, wow, bravo, alas. So now that we have finished with all the parts of speech, let us practice. Let us identify which part of speech each word is. Now here, the is an article. Tiger is a noun. Is a verb. A is an article. Cruel is an adjective because it describes animal, which is a noun. Look in the big cupboard. Look is a verb. It's an action. In is preposition. The is an article. Big is an adjective because it describes the cupboard, which is a noun. In the third sentence, put it there, but carefully. Put is a verb. It's an action. It is a pronoun. There is an adverb. It's the adverb of place. But is a conjunction. And last, carefully is an adverb. Well, students, now let us move on further. Some words belong to more than one class or part of speech. For example, the word fast. Is it an adjective or an adverb? It can be both. Here, the word fast. This is a fast train. Now here, the word fast describes train, which is a noun. And so anything that describes a noun is an adjective. So this word fast is an adjective. In the next sentence, we have the same word fast. He walks fast. But here, the word fast is not an adjective. It describes the way a man walks, and so it is an adverb. The word fast is an adverb. The second example, the word water. Now, water can also be different parts of speech. In the first sentence, would you give me some water? Now here, water stands for a thing. It is a name of a thing, and so it is a noun. We water plants daily. Water stands for an action, the action of watering plants, and so it is a verb. Well, students, I hope you have understood the different parts of speech clearly and how one word can act as a different part of speech in different sentences. I would like you to solve these exercises in order to practice. Identify which part of speech each word is, and then what part of speech are these words underlined. I have also sent you some PDFs that will help you prepare for the International English Olympiad. So study well, rest, sleep, study home and stay safe.